everybody. It's Mark Gillian here for AIM Country Music Television. Welcome back to Your New Favorite Song. I've got a real treat for you. My guest today is Morgan Myles. She's a powerhouse vocalist with an incredible 5-octave range, but she doesn't use this gift for gymnastics, runs, or other showing off. She uses it to express emotion that just can't be expressed any other way. She makes sure that you feel what she's singing about. She turned all of the heads on her unforgettable run on season 22 of NBC's The Voice with an also unforgettable rendition of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Camila Cabello pressed the button before Morgan had finished the first line, and all four had spun their chairs before the end of the first chorus. But only then did Morgan crank up the delivery and show them what she's really capable of. Morgan took the concept of making it your own to the limit. Check it out. I'm right. She lit up the Grand Ole Opry with an absolutely electrifying performance that brought her a standing ovation. Every artist's dream, the Grand Ole Opry. She has a stage presence that demands your attention. She's not just a singer, she's a force of nature. She's been praised by the likes of Billboard, CMT, and Rolling Stone. She's opened for Reba McEntire, Hank Williams Jr., Kane Brown, and Luke Bryan. She just released a stunning live album recorded with the legendary Bob Clearmountain. And she has a much anticipated studio album on the horizon for 2025. This is an artist on the cusp of something truly special. Morgan calls her music country, sometimes Americana, but there's also another flavor in there, maybe soul, because she digs pretty deep and manages to tug on your emotions like all the great R&B singers do. Morgan is here today to talk about her new release, Blame. So let's get her in here right now to talk about what might just be your new favorite song. Morgan Myles, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm happy you're here. Glad to meet you. How are you doing today?
Oh, my typical frazzled self. Just trying to do too much, not enough time, but no, I'm having a great day. How about you?
Oh, same here. The busy people always have something going on, or and so it'd be a surprise otherwise.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Well, you're no newcomer to the music business. You're doing 100 shows a year. You got millions of video views. You were stellar on The Voice. So lots of people know you already. I still think it'd be a great idea if you just give us the full Morgan Myles intro. Just take it away and tell us all about you. We're not in a hurry.
Oh boy. God, where do you start? No, I'm originally from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, but I've now lived in Nashville 20 years. I started at Berklee College of Music and then ended up my freshman year transferring to Belmont. Quickly ended up on the road being a utility player and a background singer for an artist that was on RCA on the Reba tour. And then I quickly found out, I need to be in Nashville honing what I want to do as an artist. So just really started crafting the artist songwriting a lot. And, my first record, gosh, I think that was 2015, my first EP, and hitting the road and just navigating this insane life. But it's been wild. I ended up, after a series of crazy events with the music industry, with a management company, I ended up wanting to do The Voice after several hardships. I mean, it was a bad management deal, fighting for my master's, ended up hitting the pandemic as soon as I got them back, and then dealing with a bad booking agent. So The Voice seemed to be kind of like my last leg of hope. I think artists get there sometimes. And I said, what do I have to lose? And the thing was, I had everything to gain at that point, and it was really good. It was a great platform. The year 2022 ended up just being a great thing for me. And since then, I've signed a record deal. And we just wrote 80 songs for this record that we've been working on all year, a studio album. We recently released my very first vinyl, which is an incredibly all live, no auto tune, nothing record that you can purchase now. And truly, I feel like you can feel like you're at a live show of ours, which is so fun. And then, we're going to start rolling out this new studio album in May. And I'm just so stoked. But it's my journey is so freaking layered. It's really like hard to generalize it at this point. It's like life and journey, and we could have a whole novel now.
Still writing it.
And still writing it. I keep saying I think God gives these things so that I could like, just always have material to write about.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, from the outside, it looks like you're, kind of there. You got it all together. I watched a bunch of the videos from the Apogee Studio stuff, and you look like you're all together, and it's like everything has always gone good for you.
Yeah. Well, the Apogee thing, we shot that gosh, right before Christmas 2024. Or no, Christmas 2023. And so it took us a second to release the album. But it was such a cool moment. I've been playing with these guys for a long time, and Apogee Studios is like it's a really, really cool studio that you can have a full live audience packed in there. And Bob Clear Mountain has, recorded and produced how many records, how many Grammys this man has won.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And to have him do this for me and then also just be a part of the intro of the album, like if you're like a music nerd, Bob Clear Mountain. So when I had that opportunity, I was like, "Are you kidding?" So it's great, and I think the record really turned out really, really great.
Yeah, I don't know that you could do a lot better with overdubs and auto tune and messing with it. It definitely had
Mhm.
just a real spark to it. It's
Yeah, and we
sparkle.
didn't want that. And again, it's how incredible Bob Clear Mountain can be with like mixing a live type of situation. But we really just wanted people to feel like they're in a very manufactured world. I mean, we got AI now and all this kind of stuff. It's like let's go complete opposite. Let's just go to the real raw deal. And I think that, if people there are a lot of people that still want that, and those are my people. So
Yeah, I'm one of those. I like the
oh,
I
I
like
can
the whole
tell.
live thing. It's what it's why you go to concerts or go to clubs is to hear the live
Yeah,
things. So how did you get hooked up with Bob Clearmountain? That's I mean
that was through my
he's done
label.
like giant acts. So
Yeah.
you're kind of in
um
rarefied territory there. How'd you get there?
yeah, so I'm with Blue Alon Records, and they're based in LA, and the president of my label, Kirk Passage, is just such a music lover. He's been in the scene for a very long time, so he knew Bob, and that's why that came together. And they've also done a few other live albums with Bob and Blue Alon with some other artists. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's a rare talent.
Oh yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, well, I've read that you have a 5 octave vocal range. How old were you when you realized that was actually not normal, sort of a special thing? I mean, did you realize it early on, or at what point did somebody say, "Hey, everybody can't do that"?
No, somebody actually, it was somebody that I was signed to on management that asked me, and I said, I don't know. Like really that really, really high note that I discovered probably like 10 years ago, as cheesy as this is, when I'm totally just in my feels at a live performance, that's what happened. I just kept going, and it went up and up. And obviously, I took the risk, and it just came out of me like kind of just like a spiritual thing. And I went, but once I figure out, like, if something like that happens to me live in a performance, once I've tapped into that ability on a vocal thing, all of a sudden I know how to do it again.
Yeah, yeah,
Weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like a technically learned thing. I'm sure you can get to that in that way, but for me, it's always just like emotion and passion and feeling and vibing and yeah.
well, I noticed listening to your things that a lot of times singers, well, really every time if you listen to Katy Perry or Coldplay or Shinedown, all the songs are kind of written for what the vocalist sings, the range. Um, but in your case, is there a temptation to stretch out and flex it a little bit? Because I've listened to a lot of your songs, and it looks to me like you kind of restrain it and really only use higher notes when it serves the song. Does that ability affect the way you write songs?
I think where I learned along the lines from doing this a long time, yeah, I can do like vocal acrobats or Olympics or whatever you want to call it. But I had to learn, well, what are you trying to really convey? It's not about showing off, it's about connecting. And I think, yeah, when I first moved to Nashville, I was all about like, I've got to impress these people. This is my chance. Like, I was constantly in this like frantic, thing. And it was really about learn to execute and use those moments to your advantage. To why are you singing that insane note? Why? Is there intent, like what's the intention? And I think the more that I really dived into life and lyrically and my story and my hardships and all of that kind of stuff, I was truly connecting in this more authentic way of delivering what I wanted to say. There was a record given to me when I was really young. I think I was 10, and it was like my grandfather's close friend, and he gave me Eva Cassidy's Songbird. And honestly, I didn't connect to it at 10, but I always had Eva in the back of my mind because there was a live from Blues Alley that connected with me. Her control of her dynamic is now absolutely mind blowing for me. And, voices affect me differently. And so I think I just started to really go, why am I connecting with this? Or why am I connecting? And everything just started to make sense because I do think our ears as an audience starts to get really fatigued too. If you're just, you're just doing your thing and it's not about that. And so this next studio record, my producer, Ross Hogarth, who is also a 7-time Grammy Award winner, he was he became basically my A&R for sure. And my label really trusted him because he has great opinions. And I was like, okay. So the constructive criticism a lot was, you can't be blasting on every song, Morgan. And I'm like, I know. So the record has both, but every reason I'm singing in a very intense note has a reason. And I think Ross was so good about really trying to make sure everything that we chose, each song, had truly a purpose and a part of the record to embody faith, perseverance, love, loss, everything with such conviction to really show my heart and my intention and not wear people's ears out.
I think you probably could, so it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I could.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be good.
Thank
Um,
you. Me too.
I, yeah, you're a country artist. There's a little Americana in the mix there, and I personally think you kind of infringe on some of the great R&B singers. That really soulful country sound. I don't think there's a country soul genre yet, but how would you describe
For
your
sure.
sound to someone who hasn't heard you yet? How would you entice them to come and to check out the new one in May?
I mean, I agree. I think there should be a country soul genre because a lot of we I think that gets thrown out a lot. I'm very much an Americana country soul artist. I write everything I release, so there's the singer-songwriter aspect. And truly just because it's really hard to find songs that are out there floating, and I'll never say never. But I enjoy really telling from my personal place so that I can go back to that. But yeah, I would say it's very much an Americana country soul thing. Like this next record was written mainly in Muscle Shoals and Austin, Texas, and Nashville. So what I love about Shoals is it's very much that Southern soul, like just different. And there's pain laced in those fields that are coming through your body, just making you feel just it's all about the music. It's all about like intention and it's just I like writing in trolls.
Yeah, yeah. It's like channel a little bit of something when you're down there, probably.
Yeah, I mean, there's no industry out here. It's just very much like there ain't a lot going on there besides just a few like studios and really just the people there, they're all soulful too. So I wrote a lot of the songs with Gary Nichols, and then Gary Nichols ended up singing. I begged him to sing on my album, like doing most of the BGVs, and I was like, I just need Gary's voice. Gary took over for Stapleton when he left the Steel Drivers, and Gary was with Steel Drivers for like 7 years, won a Grammy with them. And I was like, how am I going to convince Gary to come to LA and record this? And he did. And sure enough, Ross was like, Morgan, I think you're right. I'm gonna put his voice up more in the mix. I was like, we don't need stacked vocals. Like we just need that his amazing, amazing vocals on it. Just that one little voice. But his voice is so textured. It's incredible. So yeah, there was a lot of magic happening for this record in Muscle Shoals. So I feel very close to Muscle Shoals.
Fantastic. Well, you have several songs already that have done well on Spotify. You've got Acapella, I Don't Love You, Sanctuary, and of course, Hallelujah. So people have their favorites, but what's your personal favorite, either to sing or perform or listen to?
One song that I don't normally play live because I normally am not schlepping a piano around is a song called I Believe. I wrote this is on my therapy album, but it's such a reminder to me so many times because I wrote it for my cousin that passed away of glioblastoma, brain cancer, and you know, um, our grandfather also passed away from it. And when I wrote it, my cousin didn't want to hear it. And it's weird how this song will come on or play or whatever. And I swear it's him telling me he's heard it. And it's just a beautiful song. It's just the reason why you should believe. It's just for me, that song is just really, really close to my heart.
That's a good one. You guys should look it up, I believe.
Thanks.
You're here today to talk about your new release from the Live at Apogee Studios project, Blame. Tell us a little bit about this one before we watch the video. Who were the writers? How'd you choose this one? Just tell us about the song.
We wrote this, gosh, so long ago. And what's insanely crazy about this song in particular, we wrote it and I liked all the lyrics, but then for the live album, I redid all the entire song. Melodically, I changed all the chords, everything. It was I redid it with a different intention, and it turned out really, really great. The words are just so powerful to me because it's about take blame. It's like I could blame you for all these reckless nights with no sleep. And honestly, I'm currently going through it again. I haven't really announced this yet just because I'm processing, but me and my fiance have now decided to not get married and we are choosing to walk away. It's for the best. But I think even though this song was written not about him, it comes back up and you're saying to yourself, well, what can I own in this? And for me, I'm one of those people, I'm so insanely loyal. So I will try to, and I think I'm so intuitive. I like want to figure it out and I want to empathize and I want to see what's happening to help. And everything in life always has a solution and growth. And I can be almost too understanding for too long at times. And so that's when I go, I just blame myself. I'm currently in that state, like right this moment, going, well, why did I choose to ignore some of these signs? Why did I choose to, you know, keep trying for too long? Why did I ignore it? Or, why did the people that are close to me even try to, now they're all saying, oh, and you're just like, I'm blaming, I want to blame myself because it's one of those things where I'm like, well, everything happens for a reason. And so I'm fishing for that reason, and that's blame.
Well, this song is a perfect example of putting emotion into a song. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
just right from the very beginning. It's one of those where if you've had any kind of breakup, it's just automatically can relate. It's just a very relatable song.
Well, we all strive for love. It's one of the most humbling things in our lives. I think the one thing that we do get caught up in, it's like you just want to see the best in people. And I think for me, that's truly like, sorry, the saddest part is just going.
Well, on that note, I'm ready to play it. How about you?
Yeah.
This is the perfect intro for this song. I love this. You're watching Morgan Myles' video for Blame here on AIM Country Music Television.
I scream so loud, but only you hear silence. I don't know how to make you see. Why do you make your words so violent? Maybe you get off on hurting me. I give my love away, 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 away. I can blame you. All the endless nights with no sleep, the reckless ways you treated me. I can blame you. All the shit you preach, your talk is cheap, but you know I'll always stay. Hey, so maybe I'm the one to blame. Close my eyes and pretend that you love me. Tell myself one day you'll change. And I try to rescue you from lonely, but I'm the one who needs saved. I give my love away, 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 away. I can blame you. All the endless nights with no sleep, the reckless ways you treated me. I can blame you. All the shit you preach, your talk is cheap, but you know I'll always stay. So maybe I'm the one to I could blame you. All the endless nights with no sleep, the reckless ways you treated me. I could blame you. All the shit you preach, your talk is cheap, but you know I'll always stay. So maybe I'm the one to
Wow, there's some fire in that one. I really like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great job. Congratulations. It's a good song.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You went on The Voice. You were already strong, already sounded confident and complete. Did it open other doors? Get you looking other sounds or types of songs? How would you say the experience affected your life and career? If at all?
I think the biggest part of The Voice was just getting my story out, like to a massive audience, and um, being able to also see all the years on the road, all these people showing up. My fans are so dear to my heart, but I think sometimes you feel like, who cares anymore? And they all showed up in such a big way. And so touring has picked up so much more for me. And like I said, I right after I signed a great artist friendly deal that's very nice for me with Blue Lawn Records. And it opened so many opportunities because of that. And then, I'm working with the best producer I've ever worked with in my life. And yeah, things are just moving in a great way. I have a new manager now who I love and respect. And we have a great, great village around me now. Took some time to get there, but I do believe the pandemic hurt a lot of us as artists. And then, you had that, and then the voice kind of helped me kind of regroup in a big way and go, hey, you're not done yet, sister. Keep going. And it gave me a lot of confidence. I think I needed that validation. Like I didn't realize I'm the fastest forward chair turn in history. And that I needed that. And then after the show, I got my Opry debut right away. And just sometimes you just need a sign from God to keep going. And those were huge for me. It was the words that the coaches said and the response of the audience of that platform. And then what came after. I needed all those because I was asking, like, do I go? Do I continue to go? And I needed that.
Yeah, that video for that performance is still on YouTube with 2.3 million maybe views. Lots of people have seen it. It's pretty fun to watch. You get out there and they're all back turned, and you get to like the first 3 or 4 words, and Camilla hits the thing right off the bat.
Yeah,
Where you really didn't get a good start before
I know.
she said, I like
think
this.
she turned with the well, I heard. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's so funny.
That was impressive.
I know, and you can't hear the you can't, thank God, because I was like, is that gonna mess me up? But no, they don't do that to you. That's edited in. So I just had my eyes closed. I was looking at this light in the distance and I was like, I'm singing to that light.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's another one people should look up. Finish this up and go check that out, because that video is it's a pretty fun watch. Yeah, it's
it was
like
funny.
I think they had all turned their chairs before you actually turn on the power. It was all just the raw emotion in a regular range, and
yeah.
and then it turned it on. And they went, oh,
yeah, I know. I'm very surprised, but again, I think the coaches knew that I had this like feel like she's gonna go, like hallelujah just makes people feel incredible, like it's in a different way. Everybody's got a different reason why they connect to that song. That's why it's so incredible. And I'm so happy that they let me sing it, because it wasn't on the license list, but it was my audition that I sent in. And so I got really lucky. But when I got to LA, I went, oh my God, I only get 90 seconds. How do you deliver hallelujah in 90 seconds? And so I really thought and thought and thought and messed around with it. And I chose those two verses too from the song specifically to make sense. And then I pieced them together. I wanted to keep the first verse very, very vulnerable. And then the second one was like that pain that's listed in life, that you can just that cry for a hallelujah to find that faith. And that heartbreak. And so I was just happy that they related to it so much, and because that song's been done a million times. And so it was cool to get that response for a song that's been done so much. Yeah.
it's hard to do that song and get a great response, because you really have to be perfect on it.
Well, it's so funny because I didn't think about it that way as per usual. But like after everybody, like John Legend was like, it takes some real kahunas to, and I just went after the song that I love.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I took a heck of a risk, I think.
You did. I mean, I don't know in your case if you really did or not, because it was a masterclass in how to do the song. But I do think that it's one of those things where it takes some confidence to say this is the one I'm going to shine above everybody else with.
You know, I think the show wouldn't have let me do it if they didn't think if it wasn't gonna reach the audience. And so when I was like the premiere of the show and the leak and everything, I think they just knew what because they told me. They said that Hallelujah resonates with our audience in such a way that we don't let people, we don't let contestants do it all the time. And so, but they didn't tell me that until like closer to the finals. So yeah, I was like, man, I did not know what I did.
Yeah,
So
I think that probably would have made you really nervous to know that the first day.
Yes. Thank God they didn't say anything. Yes.
Exactly. Well, congratulations on that. I think that worked out great.
Yes, it did. It was a good decision that I made to go on
It
it.
is. Well, before we call it a day, I'd love for you to tell us where to find you online, on stage, and where we can buy or listen to all your music.
Y'all, please go to Morgan Myles Live. Okay, so that's morganmileslive.com. But all my socials, they're me, DM me. We also have a free fan club sign up at my website as well. So you have no idea how important it is to follow us on Spotify, everything. So please, please, please. And I appreciate all your support.
And her fan club is called Milestones.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, everybody join into that.
Please, please, please.
It's been great chatting with you today, Morgan. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you so much. It was fun.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Morgan Myles. So what do you guys think? Is Blame going to be your new favorite song? This has been Mark Gillia for AIM Country Music Television. Thank you so much for watching.